Hello, and welcome to Behind the Scenes at Ocado Engineering Operations. Today we'll be showcasing some of the work that we've been doing over the past 18 months in partnership with Ocado and the Kaizen Institute. Thank you for joining us. Today I'm here with Alan Carruthers, who's the Director of Engineering Operations for Europe, Middle East and Africa for Ocado. Thank you, Alan. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, James.
Can you just give us a bit of an introduction about Ocado Group and its history?
Yep. So Ocado Group, Ocado started back in 2000 as the first kind of dedicated online grocer. Since then, it's evolved to become a pioneer in the kind of the online grocery market. Back sort of 2015, 2016, Ocado created OSP, the Ocado Smart Platform. And it first launched in Andover. This is an end-to-end solution that we can customize with our retail partners, but provides automated solutions, in-store fulfillment solutions for all the kind of online grocery needs. The mission for the business is to change the way the world shops, and we've been doing a pretty good job of doing that over the last few years. So we now partner with some very forward-thinking grocers around the world. In North America, we partner with Kroger and Sobeys. In Europe, we have Morrisons and Ocado Retail, Marks and Spencer's in the UK. And then in Europe, we have ICA, Bonpreux, Casino, and soon to be CFCs in the coming years with Auchan and Alcampo. Further afield in the Asia Pacific region, we have partnered with Aeon in Japan, Coles in Australia, and those sites are due to go live next year. And just this year, we signed a new deal with Lotte Group in South Korea. So quite exciting for us as well, and we're looking forward to getting going down there as well.
Could you tell us a little bit about the role that engineering operations plays within Ocado?
Yeah, certainly. So my role looks at the EMEA region, but across the world now, as of the kind of last year, we are running 9,600 bots, our various CFCs around the world. We're operating 1,000 plus peripherals. The engineering headcount is now roughly about 900 people around those different sites. What that now means is we have, over those years, we've been evolving fast and things have been changing. In the various CFCs, we are now running two different types of bot. This site here in Erith, where we are today, runs one of the original variants, the 400 series as we call it. But the other CFCs now around the world are running 500. Next year we will launch another variant, a new iteration of the bot, the 600 series, and along with that will come the Ocado Reimagined equipment as well. So that is again a significant increase in the amount of automation, on-grid robotic picking, just to name one item that's going to be in there. All of this is going to be machinery and equipment that is going to need to be serviced and maintained by the engineering operations.
Excellent. And engineering operations, if I understand, they make sure that all the assets run according to expectations, so that the operations team can fulfill all the orders for the customer.
Correct. So effectively our mission is to service and maintain the equipment wherever it's deployed, and ensure that we hit all of our KPI targets, the SLAs that we've agreed with our partners, and we enable them to deliver the best world-class kind of customer service to their shoppers. What
are the metrics and KPIs that engineering operations uses to evaluate their performance?
We love data at Ocado. There are a lot of KPIs and metrics, but fundamentally for engineering operations, our key costs are driven by labour and how effective and efficient we are, and parts and repair. So the focus is always around how efficient and effective we are. The quality, so we don't want to jeopardize the quality because uptime, service and performance is at the core of what we want to do. And then obviously reduce part spend where we can as well. So those are the kind of key focus. Key drivers that we talk a lot about are our mean time to repair, our defects per 1,000 operations. So we're always striving to improve that ongoing reliability. The busier they get, the more reliable we want to be. And again, our focus on part spend as well. The cost per repair, whether it be planned maintenance or reactive maintenance, is a top focus.
Okay, and then when we initiated this project at the end of 2020, how did you decide upon what targets to set the site team here in Erith?
Yeah, as I say, we had lots of metrics to go at, but To keep things focused, we picked a couple that were critical to us. They're also well understood throughout the organisation, throughout the engineering operations team as well. So we talk about them regularly, frequently. People who work within engineering operations understand their role within that. So focusing on the mean time to repair for the bot was a high priority, and also then the defects per 1,000 operations of the bot. How do we improve that reliability of the bot as well? So those are the two key focus areas.
Okay, so CFC4 is the largest site in the group currently. What was the driver for starting a project here, and how does that fit with the overall strategy of Ocado?
So Erith felt like the natural choice because it is the oldest site that we have in operation. It is also the largest site that we have in operation. On site, we have an amazing team of engineers. It's our biggest group of engineers on any site. We also have some of the oldest equipment. So as I kind of previously said, Ocado has evolved fast. The technology evolves at a fast pace. We deploy numerous software deployments every week. Often that fast pace of technology changing and hardware changing doesn't keep pace with the kind of the processes you have on site. So Erith felt like the perfect choice in terms of coming here, investigating how we operate, what we do, to try and look for those kind of labour saving efficiencies that we could. Any process changes that again would help us drive towards those core goals of improving our mean time to repair and improving the quality of what we do and just that general cost to serve.
Excellent. And when you did the initial diagnosis, can you just give us an insight as to what that week felt like and looked like?
Yeah, so it was a great week actually. I managed to clear my diary, which is no mean feat, and dedicate a full week with the guys, which was actually massively powerful for me. It was light touch from the Kaizen group, but well facilitated, and it was a blend of practical exercises, some theory. The vast majority of that was on the shop floor. And we brought in a cross-section of people into the team from our management team, but we brought in a range of engineers and technicians with different backgrounds, diversities. Just watching them develop, engage across the week was fascinating, to watch. And actually, they, with Kaizen support, were able to identify a raft of opportunities. And it was great seeing their buy-in to that and helping them to identify where they could go next. Some very powerful moments. It was good, very, very good.
Excellent. Yeah. And out of that week, obviously there was a plan developed, the sort of the roadmap for the first year. Those people who were involved in that first week, what role did they play in the implementation of those improvement initiatives?
So all the people that were in the group, they all ended up with their own A3 project. So those projects were aligned to the core metrics that we were trying to improve in terms of our productivity, quality and efficiency. They were then taught and schooled in terms of kind of what to do, how to build those up. We set up a mission control, which we used every week for weekly reviews and then for monthly deep dive reviews. Each of those people had then the opportunity to work on that project, give their own personal updates. And again, watching people come out of their shell, talk passionately and enthusiastically about things that they were able to see and do and change was fantastic to see. And I think there was a overwhelming sense of empowerment from people, that they were bought into it, could see the opportunities and wanted to make a change.
Excellent. So Alan, it's been quite a challenging couple of years for people with the pandemic, and obviously Ocado being an online retailer, seeing a massive amount of growth in their customer orders. Can you elaborate a little bit on the types of challenges that were faced during the implementation of the project?
Yeah, it was a challenging period for us. Challenging and exciting though at the same time. I mean, I think our engineering teams are site-based. They run and operate the site across 24/7. But Ocado is now quite a big business. We have tech teams based in different locations. Getting people to the site was challenging with travel restrictions and so on. We managed to do that. It's absolutely critical you're here, you see it, understand it. The creation of the mission control was our focal point. We were able to bring people from our product teams, from our technology teams to come and see what we're doing. We needed their alignment, we needed their engagement. because some of the changes ultimately would need their kind of buy-in and support. So again, juggling that, getting them site at critical times, and at the same time trying to squeeze more out of the site in terms of orders and eaches than we'd ever done before, was fairly challenging, demanding. The critical thing for us was being able to start that kind of change journey, but at the same time not jeopardize anything for our client, and making sure that we still delivered those kind of high levels of customer service, which thankfully we were able to do, right? And actually some of the things that we were able to deploy quickly enabled us to squeeze more capacity from the site.
Okay, so Alan, can you explain for us a little bit about the role that Kaizen Institute played here in Ocado in facilitating the project?
Yeah, so Kaizen were fairly instrumental in terms of helping us deliver what we did. They spent time with us on site. They educated and coached the people involved in the projects, so they were better placed to kind of understand root cause, problems. We did lots of kind of fishbone 5 type analysis, but it also kind of gave us the structure, the materials, and the methodologies to use, so that we were able to keep that kind of cadence, that kind of consistency, and that focus. So there was lots of time on the floor with people going to look and see what the problems were, not solutionizing all the time, helping us figure out the root cause, helping us shepherd us towards potential solutions that we could then explore, and also providing a bit of the glue. There is an operation to run. That is always a distraction. There is always something that breaks down that you don't anticipate. But keeping that focus, keeping that cadence, that there is a timeline, we've got some objectives to hit, was very, very powerful, right? And I think often it felt like there was a little teacher there kind of dragging you along and just keeping you on focus. But I think that was very important. What was quite interesting to watch over time was people got used to that, right? So it became more light touch, and actually people had got into that kind of rhythm and knew that we had to balance the day-to-day plus continue to drive those projects forward.
And how well do you think the team adapted to the Kaizen methodologies, and now seeing it as part of their sort of day-to-day role?
Yeah, one of the things I like is the methodologies are all quite straightforward, and they're built around kind of common sense, practical application of what you need to do to run kind of operations. Once you understand the process and you get into the routine of it, it adds great value, it adds structure, it adds cadence to your day. You ultimately become more productive, more proactive. It is very easy in a site and facility this big and complex to get drawn into the firefighting and get distracted by things. You need to be able to manage your time well, be effective and efficient when you operate.
It's great hearing about the way that the teams engaged with the process.
Yeah.
Can you just share with us a little bit about both the tangible and intangible results that you've achieved here?
Yeah, so we've achieved some great results, and I'm very, very pleased. We saw a 20% improvement in terms of our kind of reliability metrics. We saw between 40 to 50% saving in terms of labour efficiency on some tasks, and we were able to realise a 7-figure kind of saving. That 7-figure saving will sustain now. We'll continue to make that, and we've now built a platform that we can grow the site on without adding much more in terms of engineering costs. So our cost to serve remains very, very strong in that sense. The other positives were on the kind of cultural softer side, where through the process we were able to bring everybody from the engineering team into the kind of the process. They all visited the mission control, and to varying degrees they were involved in the project throughout the kind of the period. That buy-in was instrumental in terms of driving that kind of collaboration approach across it. What we're also able to do is draw in people from the wider Ocado group. So Aerith became a bit of a focal point for technology and our product teams, other engineering teams from around the world who wanted to come and see what we were doing and what we were implementing. And that helped build numerous relationships and bonds that perhaps weren't there before, and a closer kind of working relationship, which I think is a great intangible benefit, and I think provides a great platform for the future. Excellent.
And hearing about not only the financial benefits but the cultural benefits, the teams use daily Kaizen. Could you just give us a sense of some of the ways in which the shifts have been instrumental in making improvements?
Yes, That cadence that I'm passionate about is now in place. The daily Kaizen activities just add that glue to what we do day in and day out. So we've now got a very good, engaging pre-shift brief and debrief process. We've got the daily Kaizen that is performed from the site lead, Glenn, all the way down through his management team. We've got some kind of checks and balances in terms of the quality of the jobs that we do. And again, that just keeps people on their toes, right? People are quite competitive when they know they've been measured. Actually, people don't want to be kind of caught out. And actually, we didn't see any kind of negativity there. People kind of rose to the challenge. They saw it for what it was. And I think that for me was very, very positive as well. It was great to see people say, I can do better. I can do things differently. And I think we've seen some good levels of engagement as a result.
So Alan, just summarising, what for you were the main takeaways from going through this Kaizen project, both for yourself and for the site team?
With the help of Kaizen, we've been able to deploy and embed some processes which we sustain now. We've continued those. So things like the mission control, we continue to run and operate that every week. The senior managers take turns to run and chair that process, so they all feel part of it. We have ongoing A3 projects following the same process and template. Visual management is now core to what we do. The key metrics are displayed and updated around the site. We talk about them every day. We bring people up to date with things when they're going well and not so well and what we need to focus on. We know we need to respond and act fast to when we see issues. So again, we can use the A3 process there. We've now got the root causing methodology that we've trained out as well. So people are able to be much more self-sufficient in terms of figuring out why we may have an issue. And we're also generating good continuous improvement ideas on a daily basis. We call those out every day. We record those every day. We prioritize, and we, all being well, we turn those into A3 projects. Those fundamentals have really empowered the site to do more, be more effective, move away from being reactive to proactive. And we're starting to evolve and improve all of the metrics as a result of it.
Okay, so Alan, it's been great to hear about the project here in Erith. Can you just give us a sense of what's going to come next for Ocado Group?
Yeah, so Erith was an obvious opportunity for us, and given its age, its size, Ocado is growing and expanding fast. As I've talked about, we're operating now in many countries around the world. It is fundamental for me that we start to ensure that we operate in the same way, regardless of what territory you're in. You know, the fundamentals around having mission control, A3 projects, visual management, making sure those KPIs and targets are clear for all. But the key one for me, I think, is now we have got 900 plus engineers at our facilities around the world. Harnessing their knowledge, their insight, their experiences is going to give us a raft of opportunities in terms of continuous improvement. So being able to capture that, capitalize on it, is going to be of massive benefit to Ocado Group. It is also very, very engaging for those people. You know, there's no way of getting away from the day-to-day. That the core of what we do is around maintenance. That's quite repeatable. The CI bit is the opportunity to do things differently, to make things better, and that's quite impactful and powerful for people.